What's up everybody, Straters back with another high ELO game. This time I can assure you it's actually high ELO and not a high ELO player playing with fans. Yeah, that happens every once in a while. A lot of the higher ELO players have been doing a lot more fan games, trying to get in touch with their fans, being more interactive, trying to just make everybody happy, put a good look on the esports scene, which I really like seeing because it's awesome. I love esports, and to see people try to make it grow is why I'm here. I'm trying to make it grow just by doing what I'm doing. I'm doing the best I can. I don't have all the skills and abilities in game that a lot of these people do, but not many people do. It's the top 0.001% of the people that can truly entertain. So I'm just here to aid in the entertainment business. So right now we have a Renekton, an Alistar, a Pantheon. I don't see those very frequently, but still always interesting to see. He's also jungling. This was something that was really prominent when, for that very short duration of time, red buff provided a slow on your single target spells. So his spear, his javelin throw, would actually slow you, and then he could jump on you to stun you, and then he would just Heartseeker strike you, heart, and then he'd auto attack you a couple times, and you're dead. We have Nidalee here. She is going AP Nidalee, so I'm assuming she is mid. Pause. Yeah, because I think Renekton will be top. And then we have a Vayne. So Vayne Alistar is a super dirty combo, because if Alistar gets a flash pulverize anywhere, pretty much flash pulverize in the middle of the map, he can headbutt them into the wall and then just walk into this bush, and Vayne can tumble and oh my gosh, now I'm spacing on this, condemn, there we go, condemn him into the wall. So that'll be a really dirty combo. They do have quite a bit of CC with the short Pantheon stun, the Renekton stun. Nidalee provides some utility and everything, so that's always nice. And then for the red side, we have a Jungle Twist of Fate. No, I'm just kidding. That would be awesome though if it was a Jungle Twist of Fate. But a Twist of Fate, Taric. It's actually an ADTF with the Taric, so that'll be interesting. Maokai, Malzahar. I also have not seen a Malzahar in a very long time. And an Exreal. So an Exreal top is also interesting. You don't really see that frequently. We're going to see how this plays out. Malzahar's suppression is going to lock down somebody really nice. His suppression is going to work incredibly well on the Nidalee, because once Nidalee jumps into Cougar form, it's almost impossible to catch her. It's annoying to say the least. Nice stun comes in from the Pantheon, and Exreal barely gets away, flashes out. Oh no, he doesn't quite get away. Oh, that was so close. This is the last tick of Ignite. Renekton did flash to try to pick up that kill at the last second. I think he actually flash ignited, so I think it was a new ignite that went down. And Taric is just destroying this Vayne. Oh no, Heal Bait comes out. Tumble coming in, and they are going to be able to get a little bit of damage. Oh no. TF is so low, and so is Taric. Stun, shatter, auto attacks, condemned, and headbutt at the same time. Stun from the TF coming down, unable to pick up that kill. Oh my gosh, this battle down bottom is so close right now. Headbutt into the wall is able to delay him, and they do get first blood from that. Wasn't able to get off that gold card to stop him, but yeah, that was really close. I think it was very dangerous, obviously, to stay in lane when you were that low, and they did have an Alistar with 2 wards in there. Really dangerous, but the red ward does pick that up, and they can detect that gank coming in. And Vayne is almost dead just from kind of hanging out and killing creeps. So it's not going to really work too well. Everybody backs off from bottom lane, but a lot of action going down. Typically you see bottom lanes just you know, farming along, not doing anything. Maybe if the jungle gank comes, something exciting will happen, but usually they get out of it because of heals and everything. So both lanes going incredibly aggro, which is what I like to see, because aggressive fights are always the most amusing to watch, and of course, most amusing to commentate. I haven't seen too much from mid lane yet. Nidalee is trapping up the hell out of mid lane. It's a little weird that she's doing it along the sides instead of in the bushes to help prevent ganks. I know that a lot of it's probably just to help, just to make sure Malzahar doesn't go from lane to lane. You know, it's just always important, and he is taking unnecessary damage just by running onto the traps, but that's what you need to do in order to get rid of him. Except over time, you know, it goes down. And putting a trap at the tower. She is going to get another spear. Spear's not doing too much damage yet, but Malefic Visions. As he was coming out, almost gets the kill. So close on both of his skill shots. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was so close. I can't believe he didn't get that kill. That was really, really good play on Exreal's part, but did not quite get that skill shot off. I think Exreal is a tad bit faster too. So Exreal's at 305 when Renekton is at, well, it's 390 now. So Renekton's can be able to get around a lot easier now and probably not get into as much danger. Might actually be able to out-harass Exreal quite a bit now, since he can get in and get out a little bit easier and juke around the skill shots quite a bit more. A lot of people underestimate speed. The high elo players really put a lot of emphasis on it, from going boots 3 health potions at the beginning of pretty much every game, regardless of what champion you're on. Exreal is getting caught out of position here, but he is able to pull it up. I'm not sure why that recalling sound was still going off. I don't know if the sound is just off. No, sound is still in sync. That was interesting. So, hear people, and I heard people recalling again when they were. There we go. That's another recall. Does it get stunned? Yes. So anytime anybody starts with it. Oh, trap comes down and is able to get off an arcane smash, but they don't get anything done with it because they did not focus properly. Sucks when that happens, but sometimes people just aren't in sync enough, especially when Alistar is just so fat. Alistar is super, super fat. So sometimes when, you know, Vayne is hiding under Alistar, you just misclick on the, you know, the wrong person. It does happen from time to time. It's not something a lot of people make a habit of, but it does happen. And that Alistar being able to do that, pretty much the Alistar and Vayne having that sync in motion, that they know that if they are on top of each other at all times, since they don't really have any AoE spells that's going to do anything crazy to them, it's like the only things that they have are their 2 stuns, and those are individual targets. So if Alistar can take those over Vayne, it's going to be much more beneficial. So having them right next to each other is going to be really important. They're going to be able to coordinate a little bit better as far as a lane comp goes, especially if they keep mis-targeting and doing those little tiny slip-ups. There was a gank attempt going on in mid, but it doesn't look like anything really came of it. Malzahar's just doing his Malzahar thing by pushing lanes as much as possible. And yeah, it looks like the lane between Exreal and Renekton. Oh my god, what's happening? Down bottom, TF is gonna go down from the Vayne, and Taric has to run, but he might get pulverized. Might have been a bad idea. No, okay. So I thought it was a bad idea for Alistar to auto attack since pulverize was coming up soon, but it didn't really matter at that chance because Taric turned around and stunned the proper target. A lot of people love to stun who's ever close to them, but stunning the person that does the damage is what is really needed. Okay, and Malzahar with blue buff, you cannot outpush, so he's gonna force Nidalee to farm at her tower, which isn't always the easiest thing to do. With Nidalee, it's not too bad because Nidalee also has blue buff, So she can just go into Cougar form, even without blue buff. She'll have... Oh, something else going down? What is happening? Malzahar's coming down. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a good gank. Alistar can ult out of it. So that's super good for him. But yeah, he can ult out of the Nether Grasp, which is really good on their team. So that's going to be one less target that Malzahar can target with his ult, effectively anyway, unless his ult's already down. In which case, you don't really need to ult Alistar after his ult's down. You just don't need to lock him down. After his Unbreakable Will is down, there's not really much you need to do because he's so squishy anyway, you can just target him and kill him. Not a huge issue. I really like this ward on Exreal. Gets a good portion of their jungle, the entrance to the river from the blue team's jungle. So it's going to make him quite a bit safer unless their jungler goes in through the red jungle, which is, of course, always a tad bit on the scary side. Especially when you're jungling with Pantheon. I'm not sure how good of a duelist he is against a lot of the other junglers. Maokai isn't the best, especially since he really doesn't have that much armor, and I guess 61 armor. Pantheon has armor shred, so it's not going to be the best. Oh, really, really crazy. Oh, so the heal does come out, but it's not enough. The stun is already down. His shatter just came up. Is he going to flash shatter? It's very possible, but he doesn't have his flash up, so it is not possible. Super close on that fight. Very, very, very tight battle. It doesn't get any tighter. That is so tight, butthole. If anybody gets that reference, awesome. If nobody gets it, I apologize for offending you, but there's two ways of using the phrase tight butthole, and you have to use it properly. Oh, Pantheon's coming in from the back of Exreal, but Exreal is going around. He just doesn't care. Since they have enough, he's going to flash and get... Oh, no, he does get away. And now Pantheon's all by himself. Exreal does pick up the kill from the Ignite. Oh, I did not even know that the Ignite was on him. That was a misplay on my part. And I'm not even playing. That's how bad I am at this game. So another guy's coming out. Oh, and the Ignite comes out right before the heal. So her heal does not heal enough. Amazing play. Just at the very end when he realized he wasn't going to kill her, he tried to save his Ignite, but he was unable to. Stun coming down from TF is going to try to get a little bit of damage on it, but Taric might go down, but the Shatter keeps him alive because the last proc of Silver Bolts did not quite go out, and Vayne was too low to really risk any further pursuit. And Malzahar is just going to continue to push as hard as he can. And that's what Malzahar does. He's just going to keep pushing. Keep pushing, keep pushing. And the mid tower might go down by the time Nidalee gets back. Nidalee's really, really fast, but with this stack of minions and his little Voidling, yep, it's going to go down. I would have really enjoyed to see an AD Malzahar this game. I think that would have made my day. Probably made my month, actually. It probably would have made my month. Yes, I'm going to correct that and state that it would have officially made my month. Because AD Malzahar is just too good. His little Voidlings, if you get like cooldown reduction and a lot of AD, and you pop out 2 Voidlings with a ton of AD, and you just... I can't even like say it. When you nethergrass somebody with 2 Voidlings, those Voidlings scale up your AD and they attack so fast once they get fat, like once they grow. It's absolutely hilarious. They just do so much damage. You're like, oh my god. I've only seen it in a couple videos. I've never witnessed it in a real game, but it was absolutely hilarious. TF is ulting, coming down with the gold card, and is able to stun, but they're not going to be able to follow up on it at all, because Cougar form is really annoying, as I stated earlier in the game. TF's positioning was a little off. He wasn't in position to ult right away and ult where he needed to be. So it was a little... they were a little bit too aggro. I think they tried to make a play out of something that didn't actually have a play. So Vayne's coming in. Taric is too. Vayne is condemning Taric into the wall, and they're also going to pulverize, stun, and they're going to headbutt into the wall. Heartseeker Strike coming in, and Vayne is just going to follow up with all of the silver bolts and is able to get it, tanking a couple shots from the tower, no problem, because Pantheon mode. Pantheon blocking those. Oh, Twisted Advance comes in. He's able to get the Arcane Smash in and drops down his ult so he doesn't take a lot of damage. TF is still in there following up with the gold card and Alistar ults, but then the Nethergrass comes out and there's nothing he can do after he's already ulted. Exreal almost got that kill with his ult. That was super, super close to pick up that kill. Exreal might take this tower. He might actually just farm it. It seems like he's just going to farm the minions as much as he can. He doesn't want to take the tower too early because he knows that it will cause issues as far as him not being able to farm as easily. And having a roaming Exreal isn't incredibly terrifying by any means. So there's no real need to take the tower since he's winning that lane anyway. So we're going to compare the gold a little bit. Exreal does come in to ward that blue buff, so they do know it's coming. They do spot him coming into the jungle. And Exreal does get stunned and comes up. Anyway, so back to the gold. What we got here is we have Malzahar and Exreal actually incredibly close to each other. And very, very closely behind is the Nidalee. But as you can see, Exreal top lane is winning by about 1,000 gold, almost doubling Renekton's creep kills, which is really bad for him. The wombo coming out from Taric is going really, really hard right now, but the headbutt from Alistar onto the TF prevents them from following up on it. And Twisted Advance coming in with the Arcane Smash, and he is going to be able to slice and dice away. Stun comes out on the Exreal. And this might be... No, it does. He is able to flash away, and they are flashing after him. They might go for a tower dive, but I don't know if that would be... Oh my gosh. So he goes down instantly just by face-checking that bush when a Pantheon was there. And Exreal is going to go down now that he's all by himself. Malzahar is too far behind to do anything about it, and yeah, unfortunately there's nothing they could have done about that. At that point, after the face check happened, I think he was trying to bait out a little bit of damage. The Maokai thought he was trying to bait out a little bit of damage, but he did it a little bit too prematurely because Malzahar was not there to follow up with any of the damage. Unfortunate for the red team, a slight bit, but it was amazing job by the blue team to follow up there. Like, hey, they're split. He's all by himself. Let's burst him down real quick, disengage, and then they saw the Malzahar, and they're like, okay, Malzahar's not coming from river or coming from this area of the bushes, so we can just go straight after the tower since Exreal was here and Malzahar was over here. They're like, alright, well, we're just going to run away from you and kill this Exreal for freezies.
You can't milk those.
You can't milk those. Oh my gosh. So, taunt spamming by and laugh. Oh yes. It's always a good time to be able to do that. Vayne is really, really low, so they're probably going to go for a tower dive as soon as they push these minions. Exreal ult coming through, and the Pantheon ult coming down. They do both have the same idea. Maokai gets exhausted and is unable to do anything, does stop his ult, and Taric is about to die. He's going to get stunned and spear tossed, but no, he stuns the Pantheon first, and Pantheon still gets the Heartseeker Strike, because they don't have any CC to follow up on it. Pantheon is really close to dying, and so is Vayne. Oh, Vayne does flash away, gets the flash, and so that headbutt just completely saved them. And I missed that kill up top. We're going to go back, jump back 15 seconds. We're going to see what's going on here. We have Exreal, Slice of Dice coming out, the ult and the Ignite coming down from Renekton. Even the Arcane Shift isn't going to do anything with Exreal. Yeah. So unfortunately, they weren't really... Exreal wasn't able to do too much since Renekton has 139 armor. So yeah, Exreal is not going to do any bit of damage. Oh, Headbutt Pulverize combo probably coming out. No, the Arcane Smash does come out and slow. They are able to successfully disengage. Great play by that Maokai to do the Arcane Smash. He was recognizing the fact that it was going to happen, and so they were able to prevent it from happening. Nidalee is just jumping over walls after walls after walls after walls, doing what she can do. Oh no, YompsDoops has disconnected. It's never a good sound when you hear people disconnecting. Looks like Nidalee is trying to take the blue buff, but was unsuccessful. Thank God for the Malzahar. Malzahar does get another grasp, and 2 of the minions does get the ignite off. And TF is porting in, but Vayne gets away. They do put a ward down there, which I thought Nidalee already put that ward down there, so I'm not exactly sure how they saw that. Unless they had a pink ward there and it disappeared. I must have missed something. I don't know what happened there. Maokai did reconnect. Maokai with his boots of mobility, so he's going to get super fast back into that fight. Also with the Shurelya's. Maokai is mega fast right now. Speaking of mega, Pulsefire Ezreal's coming out soon. I'm pretty excited about that. But yeah, so this game is going to go on a little bit long. I think both teams are going to try to push for the late game. Since it's so close and it's 20 minutes in, the trades have been really even. They have a couple globals with Pantheon's ult and with TF's ult. It's going to be very difficult for either team to really be able to do anything. Maokai's coming in from the back, and so is Ezreal. Ezreal comes in with his ult, only hits one person. Maokai arcane shifts onto Nidalee for some reason all by herself instead of going in for the tower dive. And since they have a 2-3 split right now, Pantheon's coming in, is going to pick up on the Ezreal. Spear coming out from Nidalee, able to pick that up. And Pantheon's coming in with the stun, the Heartseeker Strike, and Nidalee picks up another kill, tries to jump over the wall, and is unable to. Starts off the dragon fight with that spear. Blue team's going to have a pretty easy dragon, and that was a relatively easy 3-for-0 trade on the blue team's part. They were, the red team was a little bit overzealous, split focus a tad bit too much. Blue team was able to converge onto the important targets, the ones that they knew were weak yet had a lot of CC, so like Maokai, converged on him. Ezreal, he didn't have any more escapes at that point, and so they converged on Ezreal. They knew his arcane shift was down. They did everything they could, and ults just came out. It's possible that yes, that is a surrender vote. I think that was a little bit too early for a surrender vote, but it's possible that, you know, there was just some inner turmoil from the teams. So good game from the red team, and congratulations to the blue team.